In this video we will understand Unit 16, Postmodern Approach. Let's start. 1. Introduction. Age of Enlightenment, 18th century, to Age of Industrialization, 20th century, witnessed attempts to transform society using science and reason. Influential figures: Karl Marx, Emile Durkheim. Max Weber shaped social sciences in the 19th century. Elites believed science would free us from natural and social constraints. Criticisms arose in public administration due to hierarchy, expert dominance, secrecy, and passive citizenship, leading to contradictions and social conflicts. Civic engagement, empowerment, and democratic processes took a backseat to traditional public administration. Challenge to modernist paradigm via postmodern lens. Proponents sought alternative approaches emphasizing values and subjective human behavior. Focus on the public part of public administration. Discussion in the unit includes modernity, postmodernism, and postmodern alternatives in public administration. 2. A brief understanding of modernity. Modernity from the Enlightenment age inspired a quest for universal truth and justice. Modernization implies progressive changes in art, natural sciences, law, economics, and government. Shift from superstition and instinct to science and reason. Combination of science, instrumental reason, and technological progress characterized modernity. Technical rationality fueled progress in social, political, and economic contexts. Universal view treated human conflicts as problems with scientific solutions. Period influenced by scientific management, bureaucratic model, politics administration dichotomy, and organizational rationality. Criticisms in the late 1960s due to restrictions on human behavior. Modernity characterized by rationalization, centralization, bureaucratization, specialization, and industrialization. Traditional public administration faced issues like legitimacy, transparency, gender mainstreaming, and administrative responsibility. Scholars sought alternatives to address organizational rigidity and disconnect from social reality. 3. Prevailing orthodoxies in traditional public administration. Late 1960s and early 1970s saw challenges to organizational rationality. Herbert Simon's rational model faced conceptualization issues in changing contexts. Positivist approach aimed for scientific discipline status in public administration. Positivist view appreciated natural science knowledge acquisition processes. Critics highlighted that mere observation of human behavior overlooked experiences like intuition and emotions. Rigidity in bureaucracies led to chronic problems, and rational choice was seen as a professional bias. Postmodernism rejected epistemological assumptions, refuted conventions, resisted knowledge claims, and dismissed policy recommendations. Rise attributed to diminishing trust in science and government, social fragmentation, vanishing norms, skepticism, local affairs, and globalization paradox. 4. Factors for the rise of postmodernism. Despite success, modernization failed to solve social issues, leading to waning trust in science and government. Persistent problems challenged the belief in science and technology as a universal solution. Global capitalism led to widespread social fragmentation at various levels. Although divisive, fragmentation also led to increased interest in local affairs and community networks. Social fragmentation and people's voice led to relativism and uncertainty. Change in norms, habits, political and cultural attitudes affected public sector with uncertainty and ambiguity. Examples like Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan, MKSS, showcased local empowerment. Postmodernism, skeptical of modern political representation and elitist culture, views modern representation as fraudulent, artificial, and inadequate for the postmodern age. Encourages communication in an easily understandable language to broaden the democratic public sphere. Amid social fragmentation, people show less interest in national and international events, preferring local associations or community affairs. Examples include community radio stations and local initiatives, reflecting the postmodern emphasis on the small and local. Globalization, despite advocating for a singular worldview, has contradictory impacts on local cultures and values. People may abandon traditional values for lifestyle consumerism, causing a shift in attitudes. Postmodernism emerges from cumulative effects of reasons in the late 20th century. Key ideas include no fixed external social reality, power dynamics in organizations, skepticism about knowledge leading to domination, meanings dependent on context, and the need to deconstruct texts. Postmodernism relied on understanding meanings people bring to experiences. Emphasis on discourse, with common problems resolved through discussion and consensus building. 5. The postmodern alternative within public administration. Postmodern theory originated from Elton Mayo's Hawthorne experiments and Chester Barnard's ideas, challenging F. W. Taylor's scientific management approach. Unlike Taylor's mechanical view of organizations, Barnard depicted them as social environments where recognition, psychological support, and salary were crucial. Douglas McGregor proposed participatory management, emphasizing job satisfaction and responsibility. Maslow, Hertzberg, Likert, and Jacques contributed to the human relations movement by focusing on individual roles, leadership, motivation, and satisfaction. In the mid-1960s, influenced by the human relations movement, the perspective of organizational humanism in public administration emerged. Led by Dwight Waldo, scholars aimed to redefine public administration, critiquing positivist traditions. Public administrators and agencies are not neutral or objective. Bureaucratic hierarchy is often ineffective. Cooperation, consensus, and democratic administration are more effective. Modern public administration needs a post-behavioral and post-positivist logic. Bpac called for a radical shift in public administration, focusing on citizen participation, consensus building, ethics, and democracy. Bpac rejected traditional theories like Weber's bureaucracy, Wilson's politics-administration dichotomy, Taylor's scientific management, and Simon's decision-making model. Post-Minobrook, humanistic-oriented scholars formed the Public Administration Theory Network, PAT-Net, in the USA. Works like Thomas S. Kuhn's The Structure of Scientific Revolutions and Berger, Luckman's The Social Construction of Reality, shaped PAT-Net's evolution. PAT-Net shifted focus from organizational structure to organizational realities, embracing social constructivism. Denhart argued that positivism trends caused a loss of the capacity to distinguish reality. Public administration's dialectic nature emphasizes self-reflection and facilitation in uncertain conditions. June applied dialectic methods to humanize and democratize organizational processes, recognizing individuals' participation in interpreting content. Deconstruction critically analyzes centralizing tendencies and grand narratives of traditional theories. Postmodern scholars support accommodating fragmented perspectives rather than advocating a unified theory. Administrators and citizens actively participate in the deconstruction process. Deterritorialization rejects symmetrical, homogeneous, and universal knowledge in favor of asymmetry, heterogeneity, and local knowledge. Deterritorialization is reflected in community radio stations, emphasizing local knowledge. Imagination is crucial in postmodern public administration, using metaphor, images, allegory, stories, and parables. Imagination, unlike traditional rationalization, encourages alternative thinking. Alterity counters standard bureaucratic efficiency, emphasizing the impact of administration on individuals. Openness, opposing injustice, and promoting diversity in opinions and attitudes. Phenomenology asserts that reality consists of individuals' lived experiences and the meanings they attribute to specific objects. Interpretive theorist camp and critical theorist camp. With interpretations by Michael Harmon, Robert Denhart, and Ralph Hummel, influenced by William Dilthey and Edmund Husserl, interpretive theory challenged Herbert Simon's decision-making theory, asserting that the fact and value dichotomy reflects decision-makers' convenience. Postmodern scholars deny the existence of an independent reality in social contexts, emphasizing local culture and ethos. Critical theory traces its roots to Marx's views on power, conflict, and control. Critical theorists like Robert Denhart challenged contradictions in the capitalist mode of production. Critical theory questions assumptions about organizational structure, culture, psychology, speech, and politics, aiming for more democratic governance. Developing authentic discourse within society. Based on the writings of Jürgen Habermas. Promoting proactive participation of public administrators, non-profit groups, citizens, and policy networks. Postmodern public administration theory closely connects with feminist perspectives. Examines gender dynamics in public administration, addressing inequalities and biases. 6. Major focus of postmodern approach to public administration. Postmodern scholars support action research frameworks promoting dialogue, learning, sharing, and participation. Participatory Rural Appraisal (PRA) provides a platform for diverse populations to represent their problems through maps, symbols, or three-dimensional models. Grassroots campaigns in India use social audits to address corruption in rural employment sectors. Social audit was incorporated into the National Rural Employment Guarantee Act (NREGA) due to the efforts of campaigns like pmkClasses. Civil society plays a crucial role in ensuring transparent and accountable governance. Postmodern public administration shifts from nation-building to networking. Networks become as significant as individual entities in a postmodern world. Technologies compress time and space, facilitating new communication networks. 7. Beyond postmodernism in public administration. Public administration cannot be reduced to certainties like natural sciences due to human-society interactions. Postmodern scholars reject the idea of a unified theory and advise future scholars to choose methodologies based on research questions. Scholars recommend aligning research approaches appropriately based on questions, such as explanatory research, interpretive research, or critical research. The discipline's future revolves around practical applications to solve problems in a volatile and fragmented situation. You will find notes of this video on pmkClasses.blogspot.com. Link will be provided into description box. Please check it out. Thank you.